answer it, Marsh. Welcome to the 2017 graduation ceremony for the Johns Hopkins University School of Education. My name is Dr. Norma Day Vines, and I am pleased to be your Mistress of Ceremonies. Please silence all cell phones and stand for our national anthem, sung by the School of Education staff member and Peabody graduate, Amanda Williams.
Welcome. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Johns Hopkins University School of Education, and especially welcome class of 2017. Yes. Everybody sit down. My name is Mariel Hardiman, and as an alumna, faculty member, and interim dean of a school that is celebrating its 10th year, I am honored to preside over one of its most joyous of academic events. I'm also delighted to celebrate with all of you the accomplishments of our incredible candidates, inspiring alumni, and the innovative leaders of our community who are here with us today. First, to our candidates, you've truly reached a milestone. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." So today, we bear witness to your power to do just that as educators, counselors, and public safety experts. The credentials you receive today open doors, open opportunities, but they also come with a deeper understanding of and commitment to social justice and to reform. With the winds of change sweeping across local, state, and federal levels of our country, you are this generation's champion for all students, all families, and all communities that we serve. You've spent months, and in some cases years, honing your skills, developing your talents, and advancing the command of the knowledge that will enable you to effect a common good and to lead. To lead. As leaders, you'll be called upon to channel your talents, improve the lives and livelihoods in our society. It will be you, the Johns Hopkins class of 2017, who are the beacons of light, and will be looking to you to lead the way for the future of our nation. And so now, to everyone else in the room, thank you for giving us these leaders. Today would not be possible for our graduates without the support, mentoring, love, encouragement of faculty, staff, colleagues, friends, and family. So welcome to all of you who are just as excited to witness this special day. So candidates, let's take a moment to thank those in the audience who have helped make this day possible. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you. So now I'd like to recognize our special guests who are on the stage. I'm pleased to welcome our commencement speaker, President of Save the Children Network, Mark Shriver. President for the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association, David Yaffe. Our student speaker, Sahiri Swint. And our alumni and School of Education Award recipients, doctoral candidates, and faculty. Let's give them all a round of applause. So to our candidates, our goal has been to provide you with the best learning experiences possible to help you realize your dream and excel in your chosen profession. And so I leave you with these thoughts. Graduation is only a concept. In fact, way back in the 15th century, the word graduation referred to something refined, refining something, to a certain degree. So in that sense, graduation is a process that goes on through the rest of your life. So keep that thought in front of you. Never stop learning, never stop refining your skills as a scholar and as a practitioner. And so now please accept my congratulations. And Dr. Dave Vines, let's get this program started.
It is my pleasure to introduce David Yaffe, President of the Johns Hopkins Alumni Council, who will bring greetings from the Alumni Association and present awards.
Thank you and good morning. On behalf of over 20,000 alumni of the Johns Hopkins University School of Education, it is my pleasure and privilege to bring you warm greetings from the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association and to welcome you into your alumni community. Since I come from a family of educators, my late mother and stepfather were teachers, and my late father-in-law was on the faculty of Teachers College at Columbia, now the School of Education. This is a particular pleasure for me. This morning, you join an elite group that will include more than 212,000 alumni of the university after this commencement season. Indeed, you will become the newest members of a global society of scholars and friends. You'll find that graduates from other university divisions are interested in education, counseling, and public safety, and your individual interests outside of the school will be reflected in them as well. The Hopkins community is certainly strong in the Baltimore, Washington area, but also across our country and the world. I encourage you to stay connected to us through networking opportunities, affinity groups, events, and personal enrichment activities in your home region, as well as in Baltimore, and through your lifelong JHU email. Connect with us through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the new Go Hop Online networking site. In fact, during the next couple of days, follow us on Twitter at JHU_alumni, as we welcome nearly 5,300 new alumni to the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association. You've worked hard, and you've earned all the accolades and benefits that come with being a graduate of this renowned university. Congratulations, and enjoy this special occasion. This morning, I have the distinct pleasure of presenting 6 out of the 8 Johns Hopkins University Alumni Association awards bestowed through the School of Education. First, the Outstanding Recent Graduate Award, which honors a recent graduate for outstanding achievement or service in his or her professional or volunteer life. Dr. Wendy Osefo, would you please join me at the podium? Wendy received her master's degree at Johns Hopkins Krieger School of Arts and Sciences in 2009, became the first Black woman to earn a PhD in Public Affairs Community Development from Rutgers in 2016, and is currently a visiting assistant professor in the Doctor of Education program at the School of Education. Her research examines how race and class influence the learning, achievement, and educational trajectories of non-dominant students in schools and community settings, and explores the intersections between race, equity, and underserved student groups in K-12 and post-secondary learning communities. Before joining Johns Hopkins, she was the director of the Master of Arts in Management program at Goucher College. In addition, she was the director of Family and Community Engagement for the Obama administration's Anti-Poverty DC Promise Neighborhood Initiative. During her tenure, she designed and implemented culturally competent, parent-centered engagement strategies and successfully created and launched an adult learning academy that served low-income residents in Southeast DC. In 2016, she founded the 1954 Equity Project, a nonprofit organization that helps underrepresented students thrive in universities by providing academic support, mentorship, and training. Wendy is a board member for the Education Foundation for Baltimore County Public Schools, the Elijah Cummings Youth Program in Israel, and the Obama Green Charter School. She was also a board trustee of the Children's Scholarship Foundation of Baltimore and presents nationally on urban education, leadership, and social equity. And just last week, Wendy received the Johns Hopkins Diversity Recognition Award for her research on equity and inclusion. Wendy, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I'm pleased to present the Outstanding Recent Graduate Award for your tireless commitment to the field of education. The Alumni Association's Woodrow Wilson Award honors alumni who have brought credit to the university by their current or recently concluded distinguished public service as elected or appointed officials. Chief Melissa Hyatt, would you please join me at the podium? Chief Hyatt is a second-generation Baltimore police officer and has served with the department for 20 years. She is a prominent leader in the Baltimore community and currently oversees the Special Operations and Development Division. Her previous assignments include Chief of Staff to the Police Commissioner, Chief of Patrol, Area Commander, District Commander of the Central District, Executive Officer of the Southeastern District, Special Weapons and Tactics, District Patrol, and Citywide Operations. Melissa was selected to take part in a United Nations training program in Sweden with law enforcement officers from around the world. She is an actively involved alumna and last April was the featured speaker for a lecture night at the Hopkins Club. Melissa received a master's in management from the School of Education in 2009 and undergraduate degree from the University of Delaware. In addition, Melissa received the Bronze Star for Valor for saving a victim from a carjacking, and was also named one of the 50 women to watch by the Baltimore Sun and also Baltimore Magazine's 40 Under 40 in 2013. Melissa, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I am pleased to present the Woodrow Wilson Award for your deep commitment and dedication to public service. Next, I will present two Community Hero Awards. This is an award newly established by the Alumni Association, which recognize outstanding contributions that address critical social, economic, and environmental needs throughout our society and communities. Melissa Garcia, would you please join me at the podium? Melissa graduated from the School of Education with a Master of Science degree in Educational Studies in 2013. As a part of the Teach for America program, Melissa began teaching 4th grade at the Barclay Elementary Middle School. Barclay is one of the Hopkins Homewood Community Partnership Schools, a STEM school with a specific focus on engineering. Within a few short years, she became a core part and leader of the implementation of STEM achievement in the Baltimore Elementary Schools Initiative, a joint project with the Hopkins School of Education, the Whiting School of Engineering, and the Krieger School of Arts and Sciences. In November of 2015, Hopkins opened a new multi-million-dollar engineering lab at Barclay, the first pre-kindergarten through 8th grade school to offer engineering and computer sciences. Melissa now teaches STEM exclusively in this lab and has her students participate in the science fair that occurs every year. Their enthusiastic work has included projects addressing wind energy, water pollution, and recycling. She has been able to introduce engineering and other science subjects that her students would most likely never have experienced otherwise. Her passion, dedication, and commitment to her students does not stop at the end of the school day. Melissa recently launched the first Baltimore City chapter of Girls on the Run at Barclay and works with students after school and even keeps in touch with those that move to another school. She's also actively involved in the Maryland Zoo's Education Advisory Board. Melissa was honored by the Daily Record as one of the 2015 20 in their 20s winners. Melissa, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I present the Community Hero Award for your much-needed impact on our community. Next, we present our second Community Hero Award. James Peters, would you please join me at the podium? James is a 2006 Master's of Science in Educational Studies graduate of the School of Education. He currently teaches English and also leads the food pantry at the Vivian Thomas Medical Arts Academy. James collects and distributes food items for needy families within the community. The school food pantry program is an innovative partnership between the Maryland Food Bank and Baltimore City Public Schools. Its goal is to minimize hunger and malnutrition among low-income and food-insecure households, while increasing school community involvement among parents who might not otherwise take an active role in their children's education. James can often be found on school campuses where he is an educator, community liaison, mentor, and facilitator. He's led successful programs in career and academic mentoring by hosting speakers, workshops, community days, and activities. In January of this year, he helped organize their annual health fair, and this past fall, the school community festival. He set up the Vivian T. Thomas Medical Arts Academy Family and Community Engagement webpage and continues to promote the school on social media. He serves as a role model for us and for others in our community. James, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I present the Community Hero Award for your tireless commitment to bettering our community. Our next award is for excellence in teaching, given annually by the Alumni Association to recognize the critical importance and impact of instruction. Students nominate faculty members who have impacted their education, and the recipients are selected by the offices of the Dean and Academic Affairs. Dr. Aparna Ramaswamy, would you please join me at the podium? I hope I got you right. Aparna is a distinguished alumna of the School of Education and joined the school as a visiting assistant professor in the Counseling and Human Development program in 2014. She earned her PhD in Transformative Studies at the California Institute of Integral Studies and her master's in clinical counseling at the Johns Hopkins School of Education, and just graduated 2 weeks ago with her second doctoral degree from the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. Her passion is to combine multiple healing traditions to create an integrative approach to psychotherapy. She believes that both teacher and student co-create a generative space where learning emerges. As an experienced online learner and teacher, Aparna understands the importance of attentive engagement and productive discussions facilitated by timely responses. As you know, this teaching award is based upon nominations by current students. I would like to share some examples of what the students wrote about Aparna. Dr. Ramaswamy creates a safe, authentic, and objective environment in the classroom for all students to connect these personal experiences with the content in the books. She provides realistic, supportive, and non-judgmental guidance to facilitate learning that balances emotional explorations with intellectual insights for the students. Second quote, Dr. Ramaswamy brings her thoughtful insights, wisdom, and experience in delivering this intense content, making it an extremely meaningful learning experience that provides a strong foundation for aspiring counselors. Aparna, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I am pleased to present the Excellence in Teaching Award for your deep commitment and dedication to your students. It gives me great pleasure to bestow the final award of this morning. The Alumni Association's Heritage Award honors alumni and friends of Johns Hopkins who have contributed outstanding service over an extended period to the progress of the university or the activities of the Alumni Association. Dr. Mariella Hardiman, would you please join me at the podium? This was non-scripted. Everybody else knew except Dr. Hardiman. Mariella Hardiman is currently interim dean and has acted in this role not once, but twice, while serving simultaneously as vice dean of academic affairs, professor of clinical education, and co-founder and director of the School of Education's Neuroeducation Initiative. The NeuroEd initiative has been recognized as an innovative cross-disciplinary program that brings to educators relevant research from the learning sciences to inform teaching and learning through the Hopkins Mind, Brain, and Teaching master's and doctoral courses and professional development programs. Her research and publications focus on enhancing educational practices through techniques that foster innovation and creative problem solving. Her current research includes a randomized trial investigating the effects of arts integration on long-term retention of content and student engagement. She is also investigating how knowledge of neuro and cognitive science influences teacher practice and teacher efficacy beliefs. Before joining Johns Hopkins in 2006, Dr. Hardiman served in the Baltimore City Public Schools for more than 30 years. As the principal of Roland Park Elementary Middle School, she led the school to its designation as a Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. With the use of the brain-targeted teaching model that Hardiman developed, the school was recognized nationally for innovative arts programming. She presents nationally and internationally on topics related to the intersection of research in the neuro and cognitive sciences with effective teaching strategies, including meaningful integration of the arts. She has significant experience in educational leadership development and education for children with disabilities. On a personal note, Mariella has been the heart of the School of Education. With her vast experience in service, she quietly models the compassion she wants her students to embody. Make no mistake, she has the grit and fortitude to ensure all in our community are heard, represented, and educated. Mariella, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I'm particularly pleased to present the Heritage Award for your deep commitment and contributions to the Johns Hopkins University School of Education. And to all award winners, thank you, good luck, and stay connected.
Congratulations again to all the award recipients. Our student speaker is selected through a competition whereby students present their speeches to a panel. It is now my pleasure to introduce this year's student commencement speaker, Sahari Swint.
Could streetlights ever bright such darkness? Where I walk beside my own shadow and watch the cracks in concrete pavement grow. Where children roam littered lots, tossing sticks and stones through the blood-stained dirt. I pass the remnants of homes left abandoned with a myriad of belongings and dreams lying broken and scattered like the families that once possessed them. Yet the sun shines even here, lighting my pathway when I doubt there is one. Yes, the sun shines even here, where night collides with gunfire and stars descend without hope. I chase my dreams back inside the house. I protect them because the sun shines even here. That was an excerpt from a poem I wrote in high school called Ghost Town. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Around the time I was in high school, I began to notice that the city was declining. It was shrinking. More homes were becoming vacant. Businesses were closing their doors. Schools were shutting down. It felt like my hometown was dying. I attended Detroit City Public Schools for most of my K through 8th grade education. For high school, I attended a school just outside the city. The suburban school district had recently suffered financial problems and a dwindling student population. In an effort to boost enrollment, students from the inner city of Detroit were permitted to enroll there. I was one of those students. I recall being very excited to start high school, but not long after the school year began, I noticed not everyone was excited about me being there. Detroit is a hyper-segregated city, so the vast majority of students integrated into the high school were Black, like myself. I remember public meetings in the school where residents passionately voiced their concerns about students like me being there. I remember arriving at school one day to the words "Kill Detroit" spray-painted in black letters on the school wall. I remember multiple bomb threats and needing to be evacuated from the building. But almost worse than the bomb threats was the sting of feeling unwanted. Of course, there were students, teachers, and administrators who were supportive of the school's integration. They were the ones who made me believe that if I only worked hard and stayed focused, I could achieve my dreams. They were the ones who gave me the sweet gift of feeling wanted. Those who saw my peers and I from Detroit as a problem infecting their school didn't know the challenges I faced. They didn't know I had to wake up in the dark hours of the early morning, catch 2 buses, and then walk about a mile to get to school every day. They didn't see the skeletal remains of homes I saw every day. They didn't know what it was like to walk along unlit streets, holding yourself tightly, always looking over your shoulder. They never knew the names of the boys I grew up with, who met bullets and never got to graduate high school. They didn't know that my father worked at an auto factory for over 35 years until he was too sick to keep working. They didn't know that my mother was often in between jobs. They didn't know that when the lights were off in my house, I did my homework by lantern. Or when our hot water tank broke, my father woke up early and warmed water in a pot for me to wash from. They didn't know that my one hope for so long was that I could do well in school and be somebody. They only knew that I was from the inner city of Detroit. Over time, the opposition to the school's integration seemed to settle and become covert. I remained at the high school all 4 years, not only to earn a place there, but also to prove that I was capable. When it came time for me to graduate, I was very honored to hold the #1 ranking in my class. Thank you. While many from the school district congratulated and supported me, others were not pleased. There were some who said that the valedictorian should be a student from within the school district. Rumors swirled that I did not deserve the honor. Finally, it was decided that I would share the title of valedictorian with a student from within the school district whose GPA was just slightly below mine. And so that year, there were 2 valedictorians and also a salutatorian. I chose to share this story with you today because it really sparked my interest in urban education. My inner city upbringing and my high school experience ignited a fire within me to care for those students from unwanted spaces, to see the invisible wounds that they carry, to advocate for equitable education, to challenge stereotypes, and to pave new pathways for students to travel toward success. I came to the Johns Hopkins School of Education to formally study urban education and to untangle some of the ideas and thoughts that I have formed around it. What I found here is an incredible network of educators who are committed to Baltimore City and also to its children, who go to school each day grasping for an opportunity that often seems just outside of their reach. In my courses, I found opportunities to engage in meaningful dialogue and explore my research interests. Last semester, I had the opportunity to conduct research with high school students from West Baltimore about the challenges they faced commuting to school. The semester before that, I took Dr. Rice's class on the social context of urban education. The course was co-taught by D. Watkins, a man who grew up in East Baltimore and experienced some of the same challenges as me before earning his Master of Science of Educational Studies from this school. I read Unequal Childhoods by Annette LaRue, whose research looks at the impact of race, class, and socioeconomic status on children's development. For me, these experiences were not only enlightening, they were healing. They helped me to understand my own educational journey and shape the lens through which I see the world around me. Most importantly, my time here in the School of Education has affirmed the need to see the need. And once you see the need, once you take off your cool shades of indifference and put on the humbling glasses of awareness, let me tell you, you can never unsee. You can never unknow. You can never underestimate just how important you are in this daily fight to protect and improve education in our country. As educators, we are guardians of dreams and gatekeepers of greatness. We are the light, sometimes the only light, shining into another person's ghost town. As we leave this arena today, I hope that we will each go forth to our respective stations of purpose with a renewed commitment to see the need and meet the need. Thank you.
Zahiri, thank you so much for those really inspiring words. And now it's my honor to announce the recipient of our school's Champion of Education Award, which recognizes the accomplishments of an individual or an organization that displays leadership and innovation in advancing the quality of education, human services, or public safety. This morning, we are pleased to present this award to the ABLE Foundation. Bonnie LeGros is the Senior Program Officer for the ABLE Foundation. Will you please join me at the podium, Bonnie? The ABLE Foundation is dedicated to the enhancement of quality of life in Maryland, with a particular focus on Baltimore. It is also committed to be an agent of change by supporting innovative efforts to solve social, economic, and environmental problems. It invests in research to better inform civic conversation about relevant issues, new technologies that have the potential to benefit society. The foundation also places a very strong emphasis on opening the doors of opportunity for the disenfranchised, believing that no community can thrive if those living on the margins of it are not included. I've had the privilege to see firsthand the ABLE Foundation's generosity and impact. For more than a decade, the ABLE Foundation, under the leadership of President Robert Embry and Senior Program Officer Bonnie LeGros, have been early funders and supported many important projects and programs at the School of Education, including the Institute for Educational Policy, Center for Social Organization of Schools, and the Baltimore Educational Research Consortium. Recently, a collaborative project between the Center for Research and Reform in Education and the Wilmer I Institute, along with public, private, and corporate partners, received support from the ABLE Foundation to extend a study that benefits hundreds of Baltimore City school children. In this study, eyeglasses were provided and promoting their use, ultimately then, to look at improvement and measure the improvement in reading and in mathematics scores. Bob and Bonnie are influential and very visible leaders in the Baltimore community. On a personal note, they also provide guidance, are conveners across the city and state to resolve important issues, and in the best possible way, inspire, urge, and demand that our institutions continually do better for the greater good. Bonnie, on behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, I would like to thank the ABLE Foundation for their commitment, support to education. You are our champions in education. Please join me in congratulating the ABLE Foundation. And now, as we celebrate 10 years as a standalone school of education and the achievements of over a century of leadership, I can't think of anyone more qualified to speak to you on behalf of that mission than Mark Shriver. Son of the late Sergeant Shriver, who was a politician, an activist, and a driving force behind the Peace Corps and Head Start, and the late Eunice Kennedy Shriver, a strong advocate for children's health and disability issues and founder of Special Olympics, Mark has a connection to public service and social responsibility that is something of a family tradition. It is also a calling in which he has made his own lasting impact. Not long after earning his bachelor's degree from Holy Cross, he founded the CHOICE program, which serves at-risk youth through intensive ongoing community-based counseling and career training. Beginning in Baltimore's Cherry Hill neighborhood, the program has expanded to 7 offices throughout Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Prince George's County, and will soon enter its 3rd decade. In his public service, Mark distinguished himself by serving 2 consecutive terms in the Maryland House of Delegates and earning Outstanding Legislator of the Year. He joined Save the Children in 2003 as Vice President, creating the agency's early childhood development, literacy, and health programs in the United States. In the wake of Hurricane Katrina, he launched Save the Children's domestic emergency programs, guiding the organization to national leadership in emergency response and in serving more than 1 million children affected by U.S. disasters. Now, Mark has a role as president of Save the Children and senior vice president for Save the Children Action Network's U.S. program and advocacy. Mark builds bipartisan will and voter support so that every child in our nation would have access to high-quality early learning programs. Please join me in welcoming a man who has shown great perseverance, humility, imagination, and passion in tackling some of the biggest challenges facing our nation's children, our 2017 commencement speaker, Mark Shriver.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harmon, for that very kind introduction. Good morning. Hello, we're at a graduation. Good morning. And everybody's educators in here are fired up now. I'm excited to be here with you, Dr. Hardman, Dr. Dave Vines, President Yaffe, Sahira Swint. I'm so glad I did not follow you. I'm glad the Able Foundation got that award in between. I was a little screw up by Johns Hopkins, which I know never happens at this place, but I'm glad I didn't follow you. That was a beautiful talk. Wow, fantastic. Guardians of dreams, gatekeepers of greatness. That was beautiful, and the introduction was poetry. I really am so honored to be with all of the graduates here today, with the members of the faculty and staff, parents, families, and of course the graduates for this big, big day. My dad grew up in Maryland, as Dr. Hardman just said. The Shrivers are from Maryland, and my dad rooted for the Baltimore Orioles when he was a young kid in the 1920s, when they weren't even a major league team. And we used to drive up here to Baltimore from Rockville, up 95, through the back streets of Baltimore, take a right on 33rd Street, and head over to Memorial Stadium. And my dad, who loved the Baltimore Orioles, used to always stop and say, look, over there on the left, that's Johns Hopkins University. It's one of the best universities in the world. It's just a fantastic, terrific school, he would say. And we used to sit in the back seat and roll our eyes because we all knew that Johns Hopkins was one of the best in the world, but he said it time and again because he was so proud of his hometown university. The Hopkins indoctrination started when I was young, and it continued throughout my life. When I lived in Baltimore, as Dr. Hardman said, I started a juvenile delinquency prevention program called the Choice Program in PS 180, the Arnett Brown Middle School, down in Cherry Hill, and it's now all across the state. And folks at Hopkins were so helpful to me in starting to creating that program. I even passed a kidney stone at Johns Hopkins emergency room. And when I called my dad the next day, he said, lucky you, Hopkins University is one of the best universities in the world, and that hospital is fantastic. So I've had Hopkins on my brain since I was a little kid. So it really is an honor to be here with you all this morning. You know, not everything kind of goes as planned. You know, I'm from a big Irish Catholic family, and we're pretty competitive. And when I got this honor, Johns Hopkins University School of Education, to get to say a few words, I called up my sister Maria, and I said, you're not going to believe it, Maria, I've been asked to give the graduation speech at Hopkins School of Education. Dr. Hardman called me up, and she said, are you kidding me? Dr. Hardman called me up and asked me to give that talk. And I said, what are you talking about? She goes, I've written 4 books, you've written 2. I'm on the national television, you work for the Save the Children. I have 4 kids, you have 3. I hung up on her. And I called my brother, Timmy. I said, Timmy, you're not going to believe it. I've been asked to go to Johns Hopkins. Timmy runs Special Olympics, okay? So I've been asked to go give the graduation speech up at Hopkins School of Education, but Maria claimed she was invited first. You think she's lying? And Timmy said, I don't know, but I got a message here to call Dr. Hardman. So I don't know if I was the 3rd Shriver or the 4th or the 5th, but I'm honored to be here. So thank you for having me. Appreciate it. I kind of made that up. A little bit of it anyways. I'll tell you one more story and then I'll say something serious. I was asked to give the talk with the Bush family down in Houston, Texas a couple years ago. I don't know if that was for the Bush family or for Texas, but so anyways, I wrote this book on my father, and Barbara Bush invited me down there. There's 3,000 Texans down there, and we have, I'm down there with John Meacham, #1 best-selling author, a guy named Brad Thor, another #1 best-selling author, Mary Neal, who died and then came back to life, and her book was #1, and then there's me. So it was a little odd for me to be there, but the Bush family invited me down to have lunch with President Bush, the other President Bush, Governor Bush. There are a lot of Bushes. And it's a real honor. And I come out of the lunch, I go over to the hotel, and I get on, head to the elevator. I get on the elevator, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And this guy gets in the elevator, a big cowboy hat on, cowboy boots, and he looks at me and goes, anybody ever tell you you look like a Kennedy? And I said, sometimes. And the guy goes, that must make you so mad. So I'm happy to be in Maryland at Johns Hopkins with you all here. Thank you. All right, I was told I had 4 minutes, so I just went by it. So here goes quick. I'd like to think that I was invited to say a few words with you all because of the work I did with the Choice Program for juvenile delinquents here in Baltimore City, or maybe even my service in the Maryland House of Delegates, where I worked on early childhood education issues as the chairman of the Joint Committee on Children, Youth, and Families, or maybe it's because of my work for the last 14 years at Save the Children, or creating Save the Children Action Network to advocate for increased public investments for all children starting kindergarten ready to succeed. But I know I'm here mostly because of my family and the virtues I learned from them. I mentioned the book I wrote on my dad, and I distilled down his life, his commitment to public service, the creation of Head Start and legal services, Job Corps, Vista, foster grandparents, community health centers, the Peace Corps, and my mom's work in Special Olympics. I distilled down in his life the three virtues that I think defined it, and it was his profound faith in God, and it was a faith that demanded acts of hope and acts of love. He was born and raised here in Maryland. His godfather was Cardinal Gibbons, the second cardinal here in America, who's went to the seminary with my dad's grandfather. That gentleman dropped out of the seminary not once but twice because of health issues, but he remained great friends with Cardinal Gibbons, who, as I said, was my father's godfather. And you see this faith at work throughout his life. When he came back from fighting in World War II, he moved to Chicago to run the Merchandise Mart. He became very involved with Martin Luther King and Cardinal Strick trying to desegregate the Catholic schools and the Catholic hospitals in Chicago. And that relationship with Dr. King carried over into the 1960 campaign, where my father ran the Civil Rights Unit for then Senator John Kennedy, his brother-in-law. I'll tell you one quick story. Towards the end of that campaign, Senator Kennedy was told never to say anything positive about Castro, Khrushchev, or Martin Luther King, or else all the Southern governors would throw their support behind Richard Nixon. A couple of weeks before that election, Martin Luther King was arrested and was thrown in jail. A lot of people thought he was going to be killed. And my father, who knew Dr. King for a number of years, suggested to President Kennedy that he call and console Coretta Scott King, Dr. King's wife. And everyone said, no, I can't do that. So he waited until a strategic moment and asked then Senator Kennedy to make the call. Actually, they were in a hotel room in Chicago, room emptied out. The last guy, Kenny O'Donnell, went to the bathroom, and my father popped the question. Senator Kennedy said, I don't have the number. Dad pulls out the number. Senator Kennedy makes the phone call, and it's over in a minute. And Kenny O'Donnell comes out of the bathroom and says, what happened? They tell him, all hell breaks loose, Civil Rights Division is closed down, and the election then thought was lost. And a couple days later, Dr. King's father, Martin Luther King Sr., who was a Republican, who had already endorsed Richard Nixon for president, came out and said, if Senator Kennedy has the courage to wipe away the tears from Coretta's eyes, I'm going to throw all my votes behind Jack Kennedy. And if you look at the African-American vote from that campaign, it went up to such a degree that a lot of people think that that's what won Senator Kennedy the presidency. Now, you could say it was a great political move by Senator Kennedy and my dad, but I think my father, whose grandfather, that man who was in the seminary, brought Jeb Stuart to the Battle of Gettysburg as a 16-year-old kid. My father was born in 1915. His family had fought on both the North and the South, and I think this act of reaching out to Coretta Scott King and trying to heal some of the racial wounds in this country in 1960, some 100 years after the Civil War, was an act of hope. And you see these acts of hopes throughout his life. As I said, Head Start, legal services, Job Corps, working bipartisanly with President Reagan, with President Bush and others. These are all acts of hope. Just quickly, an act of love. He was married to my mom for 56 years, the woman of his dreams. But I want to tell you just one last quick story. When my brother Bobby was just 16 years old in 1970, he was arrested for smoking pot. It's my favorite part of the day, right? I get to tell about my brother getting arrested. It was on the front page of every paper in the country when Bobby Kennedy Jr. and Bobby Shriver Jr. are arrested for smoking marijuana. And Senator Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, had just died a few months earlier, and Ted Kennedy's thinking of running for president. It was a big deal. And my father was out of town, and my brother tells the story that he was, when he arrived, my father said, come down to his room. He walked down the hallway. It was a long walk, he said. And my father said, look, sit down. You have to take responsibility for what you just did, but you're a good kid, and I love you. And that was it. And having been in politics, I can tell you that if our daughter, our oldest daughter, Molly, when she was 16, and I was thinking of maybe running for governor of Maryland, if she had been arrested for smoking pot, there'd be a little bit more yelling in our house. But I think that man, my father, understood that what was really important was that that child, that 16-year-old boy at that vulnerable moment in his life, needed unconditional love. And that's what he gave him. He held him responsible, but he gave him unconditional love. So I'm sure you're wondering what all these stories of faith and hope and love have to do with all of us gathered here in Baltimore this morning. You know, I joked about it at the beginning, but being asked to say a few words made me feel like a big shot. This is Johns Hopkins University. What an honor. But when I sat down to put pen to paper, I struggled. What can I say to really smart people who have dedicated their lives to helping children do better in school, to helping struggling parents and children? What could I say to those who are ensuring that public safety is done in the most thoughtful, compassionate, and effective way possible? And then I thought about my dad and my mom and their commitment to acts of hope and love, be they performed on a worldwide stage or in the quiet of their own home. As corny as it sounds, I think the work that each of you do every day and will continue to do tomorrow and the day after that and well into the future, those are daily acts of hope and love too. Helping parents and grandparents and guardians prepare young children for kindergarten, that is hope and love in action. Teaching elementary school and high school, being a guidance counselor to struggling kids, working with children with intellectual differences, being a merciful and compassionate principal and administrator, making sure that our public safety officials are empathetic and effective. Those are acts of hope and love. And what about the people we recognize this morning? What a collection of talent performing daily acts of hope and love. Wendy Osera, educator, leader, and entrepreneur in the District of Columbia and Baltimore, advocating for race and social equality to benefit underrepresented student groups nationally. That is hope and love in action. Chief Hyatt, serving the citizens of Baltimore for 19 years, working collaboratively with law enforcement officers from all around the world. That is hope and love in action. I could go on, but I think you all get the drift. Hope and love, may seem trite. It may seem easy, too soft, or squishy. Some are going to say that I'm wrong, that society doesn't really value your contributions. Look how much they're paid, they'll say. That is what is important. But the naysayers and critics, those who look out only for themselves and only at the bottom line, are absolutely wrong. Look, times are tough. There's chaos and confusion all over the world, including right here in the United States. The economy is fragile, and as a country, we have not invested enough in our teachers and our children and in our public safety officers. These are challenging times indeed, but I want to leave you with a few words that my dad spoke in 1967, another tumultuous time. And I quote, "We need to make a national examination of conscience." Why do we need a national examination of conscience? Because suddenly we Americans seem to be panicking. It's time to stop moaning and wringing our hands. It's true. The country is in a crisis, but we've always been in a crisis, and we ought to thank God that we are, because then we will always have something to test us, like a piece of steel that stays strong precisely because it is enduring great pressure. I am so proud to be in a place filled with people who have endured great pressure, who have sought it out, actually, because they want to make the world a better place. I'm honored to be with a group of people who have struggled to help kids and their families, who have struggled to make us all safer. I'm proud to be with good men and good women who have committed their lives to daily acts of hope and love, to be guardians of dreams, to be gatekeepers of greatness. I'm honored to be surrounded by such goodness, by people who remind me of my mom and dad, people who try every day to heal the world, people who know how tough the going can be, but who persevere nonetheless, people who have faith in the power of hope and love. What an honor, what a blessing it is to be with you this morning. Thank you and congratulations.
I want to recognize and thank Mark for such an inspiring speech. And for the record, Mark was our first choice, and what a good choice it was. Please join me again in thanking Mark Schreiber. And now I turn the program over to Amy Shelton. Norma.
Thank you, Mark. Our graduates this morning are aspiring and accomplished professionals earning degrees in education, counseling, and public safety leadership. We would now like to salute those candidates who received special awards earlier this month at the Society of Excellence ceremony. Would all those award recipients who are identified on the back page of your program please stand to be recognized? Please join me in congratulating them for their hard work and accomplishments. As you know, the degrees earned by the graduates will be officially conferred by President Daniels at the university-wide commencement tomorrow afternoon. However, at this morning's ceremony, we are starting a new tradition of hooding our doctoral candidates. I am proud to introduce Dr. Amy Shelton, who will get these festivities started for our 23 graduates who will be awarded the Doctor of Education degree.
Good morning. My name is Amy Shelton, and I'm the Associate Dean for Research and Doctoral Programs at the School of Education. We're thrilled to share this tradition of hooding all of our doctoral candidates at the graduation exercises so that all of you can share in their special day. The doctoral degree is the highest degree awarded by our institution. This is the culmination of years of hard work, rigorous and exhaustive examination, discernment, research, trial and error, deep thought, and a commitment to investigating solutions to problems plaguing our educational system. I want to explain what you'll be seeing in this ritual. Faculty advisors have spent many hours with their individual students, encouraging, advising, and browbeating them to cross that finish line. This event signifies both a personal and professional achievement. Therefore, each faculty advisor will hood the candidate, symbolizing the passing from student to master. At this time, I'll ask the doctoral candidates and their advisors to stand when I read their name and proceed to the hooding platform. I will read the name of the doctoral candidate, their dissertation, and their advisor. Beth Kobet, advisor, Stephen Pape. A university-led beginning teacher mathematics community. Richard Rosen, advisor, Stephen Pape. A model describing enduring business and education partnerships using critical event narrative analysis. Andrew Cockley, advisor, Yolanda Abel. Increasing student motivation to achieve college and career readiness standards through online mentoring. Yolanda Langhorn, advisor, Shadia Abras. Improving foundational math skills in students with autism using virtual instruction. Erin Paradise, advisor, Annette Campbell Anderson. Working toward inclusion, professionalization of non-teaching staff in K-12 charter schools. David Pinder, Advisor Annette Campbell-Anderson. Closing the Principal Learning Gap, Investigating Principal Efficacy. Daniel Velasco, Advisor Robert Balfance, supporting TDS School transformation facilitators through competency-based strategies and professional learning communities. Katrina Foster, Advisor Mary Ellen Beatty-O'Farrell. Building a 21st century personalized professional development school community. Rebecca Friedman, Advisor Christine Eccles. Teaching Kids to Care, a need-based intervention to increase sensitivity in schools. Kendra Thornton, Advisor Mary Ellen Lewis, hooded by Christine Eccles. The impact of professional development on teacher efficacy specific to strategies for success with ADHD students in inclusive private school classrooms. Jimmy Walker, Advisor Christine Eccles. Brain-Targeted Early Childhood Beginnings, a case study in India. Renee Aziz, Advisor Christine Eith. The nature of bias and its impact on disparate disciplinary outcomes. Punita Rice, Advisor Christine Eith. South Asian Americans' perceptions of experiences in school in context of cultural competence. Catherine McGrady, Advisor Marcia Marinelli, hooded by Ileana Gonzalez. Educating for Diversity, how to ensure teacher success in reaching culturally and linguistically diverse populations. Natalie Duvall, Advisor Ranjini John Bull. Relate to Motivate, an investigation of an online intervention geared toward increasing motivation and college and career readiness in students from backgrounds of poverty. Kimberly Jackson Butler, Advisor Ranjini John Bull. Supporting low socioeconomic status minority students in independent schools through a professional development learning community on brain-targeted teaching. Alexandra Murtaugh, Advisor Ranjini John Bull. Myth to Reality, the pedagogical connection between neuromyths and classroom instruction. Kafui Do. Advisor, Carolyn Parker. Interorganizational collaborations and public-private partnerships in school-based health and physical education programs and services. Martha Barwick. Advisor, Carolyn Parker. An online community of inquiry to promote professional learning in a digital conversion initiative. Catherine Crutchin, Advisor, Carolyn Parker. Engineering identity and problem solving among urban elementary students. Carrie Borkowski, Advisor Eric Rice, a mixed method evaluation of an online community of practice to enhance faculty participation in service learning. Lisa Herbst, Advisor Eric Rice. Early childhood education quality and family engagement. Please join me in congratulating all of our doctoral candidates on this outstanding accomplishment.
Thank you, Amy, and congratulations to our doctoral graduates. Phew. We finally made it to the part of most of you on the floor in front of me have been waiting for. My colleagues, Dr. Ileana Gonzalez and Mr. Doug Ward, will assist in calling our graduates forward by academic division and degree. We will begin with those receiving the postmaster certificates, followed by Master of Education in the Health Professions, Masters of Arts in Teaching, Master of Science in Counseling, Master of Science in Special Education, and Master of Science in Education. The awarding of the degrees to our Division of Public Safety Leadership graduates will follow, beginning with the Master of Science in Intelligence Analysis, Master of Science in Organizational Leadership, Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership, and Bachelor of Science in Management. First, some brief instructions for the graduates. You will come forward to the stage one row at a time, prompted by the ushers. When it is your turn to come up to the platform, hand us your card. When we read your name, proceed across the center of the stage to be congratulated by Interim Dean Marielle Hardiman and our special guests. At the conclusion of the ceremony, we will recess. Graduates can pick up their diplomas as they exit the arena floor. May I also make two requests of members of the audience? First, in order to help us hear all the graduates' names, please hold your applause until the graduates within an academic group have crossed the stage. Second, if you haven't already done so, please silence your cell phone so all can enjoy the ceremony without interruption. We appreciate your cooperation. We now turn to honor you, our graduates. Will the postmaster certificate students please rise and come forward?
Master of Science in Education, Sahari Zujari Naika Swint. Earning the Postmaster's Certificate, Tiffany Schaefer. Emily Erin Summers. Earning the Master in Education in the Health Profession, Eric C. Nemen. Earning the Master of Education in the Health Profession, Sharon Kim Park. Elizabeth Toper Galub. Jacqueline Elaine Stokes. Earning the Master of Arts in Teaching, Sarah Mackenzie Byron. Yvonne Rivera. Stephanie Ann Bertrand Williams. Stephen Michael Mintz. Sophia Christine Kurtz. Brittany P. Murphy. Hannah Christine Walston. Julia Lee Scher. Thomas Allen Shepard. Joseph L. Press. Samuel Carr Citroyan. Kristen Taylor Randall. Megan Colleen O'Leary. Shannon L. McGarry. Catherine Grace Somerville. Ashley Ling Vink. Sarah Yee. Lara Blake Shagosky. Jessica J. Lee. Connie Lynn. Carlos Felipe Own. Earning the Master in Counseling degree, Bassam A. Albati. Elizabeth G. Adolph. Nadia Maxadi. Elsa Wells Sweek. Megan Christine O'Shea. Christina Frendel. Tiffany L. Cook. These are mine still. Rachel Andrea Lambert Warwick. Jamil Claiborne Pitts. Danielle S. Jordan. Ariel J. Perry. Mach Mies. Yakov Y. Polter. Idelmi Y. Gitti. Ginevra L. Owen. Sherry Monique Joins. Lacey LaRae Bankston. Tiffany Maria Aurahu. Brianna Elizabeth Fowler. Sarah Elrea Gubara. Chelsea Lynn Naylor. Aaliyah Rachel Wilk. Yuen Sin Larissa Tam. Nina Vaughn. Erica Elizabeth Ramos. Jacqueline Marcellus Payne. Maria M. Gerges Hanna. Anne Yi Liu. Kaylin Marissa Ford. Alexandra Lynn Eula. Caitlin R. Manning. Kimberly Ann Lunis. Amber Ellis. Iman Miriam Graham. Ashley L. Swift. Miriam S. Siddiqui. Amy Welfed Burson. All right, I'm gonna try this. Chao Pu Zhu. Robert Israel Simmons. Mary Catherine Weaver. Nada Habashi. Ursula Cerro Riatigi. Dide Chaiman Berby. Rebecca S. Washington. Rebecca Kylo Washington. Excuse me. Lauren N. Smith. Alicia L. Sargent. Diona L. Polite. Turquoise K. Bowen. Sophia A. Rizvi. Valerie Ann Dorsey. You better. Dustin J. Jindra. Mohammed Wakas. You're welcome. Mary B. Shagudsky. David Tesson Yum. Ariana H. Farango. Pamela Christine Kalick. Shantae Imani Graham. Lauren A. Farrago. Tracy Dawn Gearhart. Elizabeth Ann Zacek. Hi, how are you? Christopher J. Metz. Gim Yong Guan. For the students earning the Master of Science in Special Education, Kendall E. Newton.
Erin Elizabeth Jones. Brittany Lynn Spiker. Olufunke Uwuma Felix. Carla Patricia Castro. Brooke Michelle Supinski. Rachel E. Gudez. Anna Lam. Denise Marie Rocco. Mary Elizabeth Marks. Grace A. Diamond. Molly Kathleen McNulty. Catherine M. Henry. Marilyn T. Gesmundo. John E. Gentz. Now for the students earning the Master of Science in Education. Diana M. Marinaro. Allison E. Regal. Sarah J. Smith. Caitlin Ann Gemini. Tatiana Klein. Mira Denton. Exxon Gashi. Dasantila Jata. Karina Alicia Williams. Chelsea E. Miller. Macklin Aubrey Gale Golden. Andrew Berkowitz. Tanya McMillan. Allison Lee Rosen. Jennifer E. Morgan. Brooke Lane Cooley. Nicole Carey Servila. Denise Melina Aquino. Jacqueline Mary Price. Caitlin Tan Fung. Anna E. Remen. Sherul Tang. Anna J. Proctor. Amanda Marie Matola. Ishitak Tofika. Juliana Para. Jennifer Brooke Roberts. Carla Ecrispo Padilla. Elizabeth R. Smith. Rebecca Allison Koza. Megan Marie Berdari, Dash. Colette Anika St. Clair Duncan. Markia R. Roberts. Morgan Grace Kelly. Farana Ruby. Melissa Nicole Wentz Dykstra. Samantha Elizabeth Evers. Jesse C. Green. Jeremy Ryan Dow. Kimball Fontaine. Deanna Dunn. Verkeisha Anderson. Vernisha Anderson. Excuse me. Jessica L. Corns. Ronald Stewart Sickles, Jr. Megan M. McGovern. Zachary William Carey. Joshua Adam Ober. Jordan Benjamin Jones. Kristen Peonisa. Kimberly Ann Clayton. Amanda Martorelli. Juliana Marie Walsh. Karina Rachel Thomas. Taylor B. Stern. Abifalua Shituabe. Sofia Milagros Vego Ormeno. Charisma Bishop. Gabriela Ramos. Alina Hadas Davidoff Gore. Kendra D. Johnson. Jonathan Carmack Weber. Kelly Ann O'Keefe. Julia Catherine Mock. Katia Dumel. Kathleen L. Wagner. Quay Dorsey. Brittany Nicole Whitby. Camille Annette Sanchez. Ethel Elizabeth McGinn. Lucy Ann Scholes. Shakale M. Duncan. Caitlin Rose Shannon. Jessica S. Alvarado. Melissa A. Rooney. Monica Moore. Bukadi C. Pambu, excuse me. Rebecca Bentel Loudermilk. Catherine E. Wondra. Shelby Lane Gregoire. Jeff Brown. Lynn Marie Ryan. Amber M. Melee Bingham. Sierra Cockrell. Joshua Jarlil Crockett. Rechna Vengupal Puthutu. Sarah James. Danielle Joanna Starr. Jason R. Lewis. Brett Ashton Walgamuth. Lauren F. Albers. Alana R. Myatt. Caitlin Homo. Unmufentula Akriade. Natasha A. Backman. Ilma S. Chowdhury. Junkie Johnny. Morgan Lindsay Franklin. Danea Avri Ann Vassell. Claire Elizabeth Cunliffe. Lauren Elizabeth Gargano. Catherine Marie Rennekamp. Christopher James Huxley. Asiya Calderhead. Meredith Reynolds Shaw. Christina M. Pagano. Arshia Sethi. Anne Rojas. Sumaya Nagib. Meva Beganovich. Imen Ula. Ayman Ula. Sorry. Jacqueline Avil L. Johnson. Alicia Patrice Fairfax. Kirsten J. Gibson Cooper. Kirsten. Okay. Shoshana Emma Foster. Erica V. Cruz. Shanice Elizabeth Adams.
Brittany LaQuinta LaBelle. Danielle Emma Cassidy. Aman Malik. Sandra Juarez Leiva. You want me to do this? Juan Samuel Conde Rodriguez. Jack D. Quinn. Crystal K. Tyson. Aubrey E. Walford. Amiel Avinash Canary. Cancray. Garen Elise Gabriel. Heidi Lee Davis. Courtney R. Ligon. Praise M. Agu. Camille B. Jones. Lizel Irene Chinook. Rachel Marie Matos. Catherine E. Malkler. Ellen M. Kim. Lauren Patrice Cardenas. Cecilia Newman. Kendall Raina Whiting. Kalika Castine. Indiana Rose Searly Golland. Sierra R. Sullivan. Heather N. Miller. Whitney Elizabeth Charbonneau. Kyra B. Robertson. Jennifer Corona. Jessica A. Swartz. Rebecca R. Seiler. Elisa Dolores Oliver. Maisha K. Bryant. Maisha Y. Bryant. I don't know where I saw that came. Vernell Octavia Patterson. Yao Asanti Bayo. Oprah A. Miles Okoye. Shalise A. Burris. Albert Ray McDonald III. David J. Wiener. Christina Marie Herring. Allison Elizabeth Gagny. Jennifer L. Collins. Madeline L. Durgan. Hannah M. McKeon. Sharonda R. Willingham. Rosanna Overbay Silva. David D. Ferguson. Cassandra Griffith Redding. Elizabeth J. Robson. Mary Louise Laycock. Paoa Koleni Ashley Montgomery. Abigail L. Killay. Makita D. Hurd. Esther Gencheva. Amber R. Phelps. Anna J. Flores. Alexa Marie Tiegmeyer. Lindsay Handley Rexer. Eric Warren Leemaster. Lindsay K. Gilson. Zyrashe Nicole Smith. Ivana Marie Robinson. Revital Y. Finkel. Courtney Aaron Dill. Robert William Dyshell. Ross Ian Seidman. Oliver Hart III. Jessie Ann Horowitz. Rachel Emily Rickles. Deborah Opeyemi Fajube. That was hard. Chris. Oh, wait. Christy Marie Bon Smith. Tom R.K. Smith. Iris Tatiana Showerman. Charday Rainiqua Thomas. Lena Lee Scaduto. Kuche Amen Kafra. That was hard. Kelly D. Willis. That was hard. Freeha? Freeha Wahid. Let me do this when I handed him. Nilsa M. Jenkins Luna.
Liana Ramos. Kylie Coney. Janelle Brown. Zoya Hassan. Mercedes McKay. Maso Faye Kalima. Now for the students earning the Master of Science in Intelligence Analysis in the Division of Public Safety Leadership. Sherelle M. Harris. Caitlin Lowe. Joseph Orenstein. Gerardo Mendoza Penloza. Kayvon Sahidi. Now for the students earning the Master of Science in Management or Organizational Leadership in the Division of Public Safety Leadership. Conrad Muthan. Jenna Ann Albert. John Andrew Warshall. Now for the students earning the Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership in the Division of Public Safety Leadership. Antonio Brooke Duvall. Kenneth M. Fox. Jannard Troy Smith. Elise C. Saunders. Henry Lockyer Marshani. Salute all of our graduates.
Congratulations to all graduates. We ask that all the graduates remain seated while faculty and stage guests recess. Ushers will then assist you in the recessional, and you may pick up your diploma in the hallway at the arena door exit. Families and guests should remain seated until all graduates have exited the arena floor. A friendly reminder that only students are allowed in the basement level in the arena. Once graduates have received their diplomas, they will reunite with their families for photos. I now invite faculty and stage guests to stand and lead the recessional. Thank you and congratulations, graduates. Wishing you a wonderful afternoon.